Shalom, shalom, family. What's going on? This is Shir Yeshub Judah from Truth Be Told Flex Podcast, and this is an extra edition. Before I get into the story, I want to talk a little bit about this walk, this righteous walk. Um, I don't ever want anybody to think that walking in this truth is easy. It's not. In fact, it's one of the hardest things in the world to do. In fact, Paul says that we must learn to die to ourselves daily. And I get that. I just shared a scripture with a friend of mine out of Matthew, where it says that if your right hand offends you, that you need to cut it off, because it's better to enter into the kingdom without a hand than to not to enter into the kingdom at all. Many people have heard me say that I just want to get into the kingdom. And I don't care how I get into the kingdom. It don't matter to me. By my chin, scraped up knees, scraped up elbows, it don't matter just as long as I get there. But it's not easy. If it was easy, anybody would be doing it. We got this saying in the electrical field that I'm in that if it was easy, uh, women and kids would do it. Not to take no slight on women and kids on this, sure. It's just using that as an analogy. It is not easy. It's not for the faint at heart. But to go back on that scripture of cutting off your right hand, you need to understand exactly what the Messiah was saying. He wasn't telling anybody to go take a machete and cut off your hand. He was telling you that as you live this life, you see that there are things that are in your life that is keeping you from being able to be the best you, whatever it is. Even if you enjoy doing what it is that you do, you need to cut that out of your life. That's the whole meaning behind putting new wine in old skins. Saying that the old skin is not going to hold the new wine. It's going to burst. And we as people, what we try to do, we try to have different results, better results by doing the same thing over and over. That's the old skins. We have to have a renewal of heart. And that comes with evaluating yourself. That comes with being true to yourself. That comes with being honest with yourself and be like, hey, you know, what I'm doing, it may be lawful, but is it good for me? That's another conversation that me and one of my partners had. This may be lawful, but is it good for me? Is it a hindrance? Is it a stumbling block? Is it a stumbling block not only to me, but could it be a stumbling block for somebody else? The reason why I wanted to get into this before I get into the story, because I do not know who may need to be encouraged, because it's not easy. But the thing that I can tell you is don't give up. Keep pressing. Because if you made it this far, you can make it a little bit farther. Something that I tell my daughter all the time: what's wrong with being great? There's nothing in the world wrong with being great. The Messiah has called us for a purpose, and we're going to have some struggles. And that's the whole point of this kingdom right here, is to get all of this filth up out of us so that we can be what he wants us to be, so that we can be the jewels that he wants us to be when we make it into the kingdom. So I just wanted to start with that a little bit before I got into the story. As you see, it says Brooklyn Nets Kyrie Irving continues to donate to black causes. The NBA champion is putting his money where his mouth is. Now, you have heard me talk about Jaheim McMillan a couple of times. This is the young kid in Gulfport, that Mississippi, that was killed by the police officer. And he had no weapon. His hands was in the air and he was shot in the head. And the police officer just left him on the ground and went to go check on the other suspects that were already handcuffed. McMillan didn't die instantly. I don't know if I ever made that clear in any of the other stories that I had. He was actually on life support. The mother had to deal with the tough decision, and I pray that nobody has to go through that, but she had to go through the tough decision of deciding to take her son off of life support. McMillan, 15 years old, and this is him. This is a picture of him. I want you to see him. This was a baby, 15-year-old kid, gunned down in front of the neighborhood Family Dollar by a police officer. And the last that I heard, and I'm not going to sit here and lie, I have not checked here in a while, but the last that I heard, the police officer was not even arrested. They were still doing the investigations. Now, you know, I did a story on how Mississippi does the investigation. The police investigates the police, right? And they have cases that backed up all the way back to like 2020, if not 2019. And they don't release any video footage, so the family will never know exactly what happened. We can only go by what people that was in the area, eyewitnesses, had to say what happened. Now, the cops say that he had a gun and he shot him, but nobody in the vicinity of the Family Dollar that was actually there when this happened says that this kid had a gun. Everybody said that his hands was up. In fact, one lady who was a Lyft driver who had an appointment at that Family Dollar said that when she got there and she saw what happened, she was sitting in her car like, what the hell just happened? So he was pretty much murdered. Now, how the state of Mississippi is going to twist this, I do not know. But I want to get into Mr. Kyrie Irving. Because as you say, is that he's putting his money where his mouth is. Brooklyn Nets Kyrie Irving continues to donate to black causes. The article says that Kyrie Irving has been in a giving mood all holiday season. The Brooklyn Nets superstar point guard has once again stepped in to fill a need in the black community. Excuse me. Irvin donated $50,000 on the GoFundMe page for Jaheim McMillan, a 16-year-old black boy in Gulfport, Mississippi, who was shot and killed by police on October 6. The young man was unarmed and had his hands raised above his head when he was shot. The cop left him there and went to check on the other boys who were already handcuffed on the ground. The GoFundMe description drafted on October 7 reads, "The officer ignored the law and public safety law, which led to Jaheim fighting for his life. McMillan eventually died as a result of his injuries later that day on October 7. The original goal for the page was $70,000 before Irving came and donated $50,000 to put the family $15,000 over the initial goal. Thank you, Kyrie Irving, and thank you to those who all have donated. Madden posted on Facebook after the donations, Jaheim for Justice, #15. The generous donation is just one of several the public has spotted from Irvin in the past 2 months. Destiny Thompson, a sophomore at Howard University, created a GoFundMe on December 9th to help her stay at the college. As a first-generation student from a family of 10, I have faced many challenges on my journey to higher education. Thompson GoFundMe description read, as a first-generation college student, it is not uncommon for me to have self-doubt, lack financial and emotional support. Investing in myself is my primary reason for attending college. Thompson's goal was $6,000. Irvin donated $22,000 to get her $18,000 over the initial goal. All right, I'm pretty calm, Thompson said in a video she uploaded to Facebook, wearing her Walmart employee uniform in a break room. I was really like super, super shaky. I cried just a lot of tears. I'm at work, y'all. I can't wrap my head around how generous people can be. I never thought in a million years anyone would give me anything, and I'm super grateful. I want to say thank you 1,000 times for blessing me like this, Mr. Kyrie Irving. I'm in shock still. I'm at work, wiping down registers and deep cleaning for them. In November, Irvin donated $115,000 to the family of Shinquilla Robinson and Devin Chandler. Robinson, a hairstylist from Charlotte, North Carolina, died while on vacation with a group of friends in Mexico in October. While authorities initially said Robinson died of alcohol poisoning, an autopsy revealed she suffered a severe spinal cord injury. An alleged video of Robinson getting into a fight with a friend on a vacation also surfaced. In November, Devin Chandler, a University of Virginia football player, was shot and killed while he slept by former Virginia football player Christopher Jones. The donations from Irvin comes in the wake of the star being accused of promoting anti-Semitism, which led to the Nets suspending him, ultimately losing his endorsement deals with Nike. On the court, Irvin appears to have gotten his rhythm back after returning from his suspension, and he even hit the game-winning shot against Toronto Raptors on December 16th. The reason I wanted to do this story is because you might not always can believe everything that you hear, but you can believe what you see. Media has painted this young man, Kyrie Irving, as a monster. He is one of the greatest threats that we know unto man, right? He is anti-Semitic. He won't apologize for the things that he has said. Nike has suspended him because they have no room for that type of a person within their organization. But when you read this here and you see what I say, right? Brooklyn Nets Kyrie Irving continues to donate to black causes. He is putting his money where his mouth at. Now, the first story about Jaheim McMillan, it wasn't even publicized. This was a story that I had to find on my own. The young lady that was in college, I did come across that, and I did come across what Kyrie had did for her, and we all heard about Shinquilla. We all heard about Shinquilla. And we all heard about the young guy that got killed, the football player at Virginia. Nobody made this man do that. Now, if there was anybody that you wanted to be on your team, that you wanted to endorse because you like, he has good values, he has good morals, I think that it should be Kyrie. But because he posted a link with no words, just a link. Hey, the link, this is the link. Because he posted a link, he got drugged through the media as if he was America's most wanted. The point of all of this is that America is supposed to be a God-fearing nation, but we see where their values are really at. Who do they fear? Not the Most High. What do they value? Not principles. Because if they feared the Most High and they had values and principles, then the things that Kyrie Irving does, how he conducts himself, how he goes about business will speak louder than the link that he posted to something that you said was anti-Semitic. But we still have not heard y'all go at Jeff Bezos and demand him to take it off of Amazon Prime. Last I checked, it was still up there. Still making money off of it. Still haven't checked Shaquille O'Neal for allowing it to be shown in his movie theater. He has not missed not one night with Kenny and Ernie and Charles Barkley. So don't let the media think for you. That's what I'm trying to say. Don't let them shape your mind on what these people are and who these people are. This media has the power to make people and break people. Now, scripture tells us that when you cast your arms, that you shouldn't let people know about the things that you do, right? Hey, this is what it is that I done. But I haven't heard Kyrie go around and say, this is what the media wrote. The media, the same media that blasphemed him is the same media that's letting you know about the charities that he's doing. This man has blessed people in a way that these people did not think that they would be able to be blessed. So with Mr. Kyrie Irving, I want to give you an applaud. Because you have changed the lives of people who did not expect it. You stepped in for a mother in one of the worst times in her life. Stepped in for a young lady who is trying to do so much better for herself in life. You stepped in for another family who lost their son untimely. And I love what you had on your shoes when you came back after Nike released you. I'm free. Thank God I'm free. I want to come back and do an extra on that as well. On what if these athletes decided, and I want you to think about that before I come back with this, but what if these athletes decided that we no longer want to do business with none of you? Adidas, Nike, Puma, Reebok, we don't want to do business with none of you. What if they came together and decided to do that? Then what? It's just a question. Until next time, this is Shia Yeshua Judah. I want to say shalom, shalom, and barakatah. And again, Truth Be Told Flex Podcast, we will be back first Thursday in January.